Hello and welcome to this week's episode. I'm not in my kayak and there was an episode missing from last week. I have so many followers, all 23 of you on YouTube, and I'm sure you were all really wondering what on earth had happened last week and why there was no episode. I'm sure you weren't actually. I'm sure you were far too busy doing much more important things. Anyway, I shall tell you my story of what happened. So it was my birthday. And for my birthday, the week before, I had received a really fancy little gadget, which meant that my cameraman, my iPhone, could be precariously put in all sorts of exciting places so that my camera work would be far more exciting for you to watch. So I took my phone and my new tripod and I went to the river last week and I got it all ready and I attached my camera to an overhanging branch. It's very exciting. And you know what's coming next, of course. Had it all set up, pressed record, had my episode all ready and my news to share. And then the whole branch just fell in the river. So my phone, my new birthday present, and my episode, in the blink of an eye, were gone. And it was quite upsetting, really, because I was just frustrated and the water was too murky and too cold for me to go digging around to try to find my phone that, quite frankly, was never going to work again anyway, having been immersed in such cold water. So there we are. Very frustrating. And in a way, it solved a few issues, really, because I've been waiting to buy myself a new phone for a little while. But as a musician who hasn't worked very much this year, I've obviously had to think very carefully about how to allocate my funds. So I did get myself a replacement phone. It's not brand new. It's the phone that I'm using today. And very kindly, the person that had bought me the tripod gadget for my birthday had obviously been told by a little bird in this house that the present actually didn't even last 24 hours. So it was really lovely to receive a replacement tripod in the post yesterday. So thank you for that. That's just very, very sweet and thoughtful of you. So there we are. This week's episode really is all about accidents and emergencies. And of course we know that through COVID, the one thing that we have all learned is that our A&E in hospitals have become very quiet places because we have to truly work out what is an emergency or whether it's just something that we can care for ourselves. And we are truly lucky to have hospitals and our NHS who are doing a remarkable job. So was my situation last week an emergency? Of course it wasn't. It was just an accident, and whilst it was very frustrating and ended up being quite a costly accident actually in terms of finances, nobody was hurt and I resolved it quite quickly. And in fact I could have chosen not to resolve it. It was part of me, having missed doing last week's episode, to almost stop doing these videos really, because kind of the thrill, well not the thrill, just was a bit like, oh really, it all such an effort, maybe I'll just come on the kayak myself and just enjoy being on the kayak without all this other stuff to think about. But anyway, I'm back. I'm not on the kayak today purely because I haven't got the time today, which is a bit of a shame, but it's going to be dark before I'm available to pop on the river. But I've had a beautiful morning and spent lots of time outside and going to be teaching some wonderful, wonderful pupils this afternoon. And I was asked this morning in a meeting why I do what I do and why I've been doing it for so long. And I really could only come up with one or two answers, but fundamentally it was this idea that I like people. I like people's stories and I like to hear their voices, and I encourage them in whatever way they can to find music to enable them to tell their story or to find their voice, to find the confidence that they want to say or sing or do. And that's a huge part of my work, whether I'm working with a big choir and I want to bring those voices together for for a collective message, or whether I'm working one-to-one with somebody who just needs to find more confidence in their voice and more confidence in their performance skills, because at the end of the day, we all have a story, we all have confidence issues, and if I can help somebody overcome and feel that moment of joy and sparkle and playfulness that we all need regardless of how old we are, then I think that's the thing that I want to keep doing. That means that the odd iPhone splashes in the river, so be it. Accidents happen. Lots of love. See you next week. Bye-bye.